What are some of the mistakes that Kenyans make when considering whether to pursue an MBA or not? I did a video earlier on and the takeaway was, what are some of the things you need to consider when you are deciding when to pursue an MBA? And there was a lot of reaction. So this is more of a follow-up to that video. So I think one of the mistakes that Kenyan professionals make is this idea that an MBA will make them competitive. I would say that was relevant 10, 15 years ago, but nowadays it's really not the case. Just like the undergraduate, 30 years ago, when you graduated, with your first degree, you were somehow assured of a job. Why? Because in the whole country, you probably were how many of you? Maybe less than 500. But today, according to the World Bank figures, we have over 50,000 graduates, being churned out by our universities on an annual basis. So when you compare those to the opportunities available, then you find it's really a tall order to get a job simply because you have a degree, So same case with an MBA. When it started, I believe it was a noble idea. This is a degree that you took, because you wanted to advance your knowledge, because you had experience, because you had something to offer. But nowadays, it's become more of a trend. Someone will enroll for an MBA. Why? Because they have the time, because probably they haven't secured a job, because there's a bank or circle advancing them a loan, or because they are looking for that extra pay, the 5 or 10,000 shillings. So if you look at the reasons why people are taking, they are not really, I would say, the right reasons. So this whole idea that an MBA will make you competitive, I'm sorry to say, but nowadays it really doesn't work. It doesn't help that even our universities, the quality that is being churned out by our universities is really wanting. Because tell me, what kind of education do you get when you're 200 to 300 of you in a lecture hall, and yet this is an MBA that is supposed to be very practical? So I think also our institutions are really not helping. The other issue is the issue of specialization. So you find someone who's taken accounts, they continue doing an MBA in accounts. So what is the value add here? So even that combination, I believe if people really understood the purpose of an MBA, someone would understand, yes, I've done my first undergraduate was a BCom. What extra skills do I need that will be provided by an MBA? And not necessarily going to specialize with accounts. So that's also another issue I feel Kenyans are not considering. Lastly, and let me emphasize on the issue of being competitive. I'm in the recruitment world, and I can tell you 95% of the time, an employer is more interested with your skills. If you have an MBA, well and good. If you only have your undergraduate and maybe a professional paper, yet you can be able to deliver, trust me, you will have an upper hand than this MBA holder who only has the papers to show. At the end of the day, in a very competitive job market like ours, what calls the shots is the skills that you have, transferable skills, and that's what employers are looking for. So it's not that I'm discouraging you from pursuing an MBA, but I would really encourage you to really sit down and get to understand what is motivating you, and then interrogate that as much as possible. If you'd like to receive more tips on careers, please go ahead and subscribe today.